Hey guys, thank you so much for downloading and listening to this episode of On the Beat. Have you rated or reviewed us yet? If not, why? The best way for us to grow is by sharing us with your friends and rating and reviewing us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify has a new rating feature right on our podcast front page. It is super easy, and the more 5-star ratings and reviews we get, the better it is for us to grow. If you screenshot and DM us your review, we'll share the most flattering ones on an upcoming episode. Thank you so much for listening, and your support is marvelous and appreciated. I want to do like... And then you come in and you go...
See, I can't go that high.
No, then you have to do the beginning.
Okay.
Go. Okay.
Good.
That was really good.
Wow, that was something, wasn't it?
Well, hello there. Welcome to On the Beat, the podcast that uncovers full frontal male nudity in cinema. My name is Laura, and I am joined by my co-host, Ryan.
Hello.
Hey, Ryan. This is happening. This is really happening.
Are you quite excited for this one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so am I.
The 1984 action sci-fi film, The Terminator.
Yeah, the Terminator.
Oh my god.
So, where do we begin?
We begin with Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's obviously the T-800, the Terminator.
Your clothes given to me.
Linda Hamilton is Sarah Connor, iconic.
Yes.
And Michael Biehn, Kyle Reese.
Mm-hmm.
There's more people in this movie too, but
there's a shit ton.
Those are top 3.
Yeah. Well, there's a bunch of folk who end up being kind of James Cameron. I'm going to call him JC, because I feel like we can.
Sweet.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Jesus Christ, but...
Interchangeable. No, I'm just... James
yes.
Cameron's not Jesus Christ.
No, don't say that. Jesus. Oh, shit.
I mean, James.
James. Sorry, James. Yeah, well, they end up being a bunch of folk who end up being staples in films that he makes after this one.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
We would probably say, or at least he regards the Terminator to be his debut, even though literally it isn't his directorial debut.
Right.
But let's get a little bit more into James Cameron. I didn't think we'd ever have this day where we were able to talk about James Cameron at any sort of length.
It's funny because I've been, doing this research for, I don't know, 15 years or something. I can't remember. But
fuck.
Since 2007.
That's a long time.
Yeah. 14 years?
Yeah, I was still at university in 2007.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've been compiling this research for so long, and
bumming about getting a fucking film degree that means nothing. That's not true. I've made a lot of things.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, it was worth it.
Yeah. And
riddle yourself with debt.
You are not riddled with debt. I got a master's degree in archaeology, and I will never get out of that hole. But-um-tish. But-um-tis. But-um-tosh. Because we dig in the ground.
Yeah, you need to figure that one out.
Yeah, well, yeah, I need to figure my job out. But
life.
But I've seen this movie in insurmountable amount of times, like so many times I've seen this movie because it's fucking awesome.
Terminator and RoboCop were kind of like, they were the sorts of films that my dad would let me see, even though I was definitely too young to see them.
I was watching horror movies instead. Like, I was watching Nightmare on Elm Street type of stuff. And I didn't see RoboCop until I was freaking 30 years old or something.
There's plenty of horror inspiration in the Terminator, though.
Yeah.
I mean, JC said it himself that after he watched Halloween, that was what inspired him to make the Terminator.
Yeah, and I think a lot of I also had read that a lot of the ideas were from like a nightmare he had while he was working on the Piranha movie.
Oh.
Because he hated it so much.
Yeah, no, well, he had a lot of problems making. Well, that was Piranha 2.
Yeah, the Piranha movie too.
So I guess like we can get to that, and I'll give you more kind of details as to that.
Oh, I think what I was meaning to say is that I've seen this movie a million times, and I never realized that his dick was in it, even though that seems to be like my thing. It is my thing. It's my thing to like write down
your thing
penises,
now, yeah.
and I think I just love this movie so much that I never really sat down and was like, oh my god, that's Arnold Schwarzenegger's penis in this very beginning of this film.
Yes.
But anyway, go on. Tell me about JC.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that eventually. I'm
very excited.
JC, James Cameron, it's kind of like he's one of the few names where he doesn't really need much in the way of explanation, or at least in terms of like his name, I feel still holds quite a fair amount of weight within the film industry to this day, even if he's done a very good job of making it not so. But
any specifics you want to bring up?
Avatar,
yeah,
I guess is my main beef with kind of things like that. And I don't hate Avatar either.
You think about how
don't probably want to see 4 films of it.
Like how much money Avatar made, right? And then insane. Can you think of anyone that actually owns that film?
What do you mean?
Avatar.
Who owns it?
Yeah, like who loved it so much?
I mean, I don't own it.
That they were like, I need to buy Avatar.
The thing is, it made so much money, and it was purely only good on the big screen.
Actually, we watched that episode of How To with John Wilson, and there was that Avatar meetup group.
Yes.
In that show.
Well, the thing is, and I knew this well before we saw that How To episode with John Wilson, and if nobody knows what we're talking about, it's a documentary series created by John Wilson. It's on HBO.
It is phenomenal.
Yeah, I recommend it very highly.
So funny.
Yeah. And his is a very kind of on the streets look at New York. And certainly his series, the end of his first season and going into the second season, bridges the gap between when the pandemic was just about to start and then when we were right in the middle of it. So it's also very interesting to kind of see how people are and behaving and things like that. It's very interesting.
Very good, very funny.
Anyway, he ends up going to this like focus group, like this, basically it's kind of like an AA meeting. So like people go to this group to discuss Pandora and the nature and like the principles of Pandora, because people watch Avatar and they get depressed because it looks so beautiful.
Maybe I need to watch it again because I don't remember feeling so connected or maybe so disconnected from watching that film.
I mean, the only feeling I got was when the ship goes over the waterfall and it does this funny thing, and it made my stomach feel a bit weird because I saw Avatar in 3D.
Yeah, I think I did too.
If you were going to watch anything in 3D, it was going to be the film that it was effectively made for.
I watched Beowulf in 3D.
Oh. I saw Up
IMAX.
in 3D.
That was my very first IMAX movie. It was a Beowulf movie.
I would say do not go see a 3D movie hungover out your fucking tits.
Were you hungover during Avatar?
No, I was hungover during Up. Oof. Yeah. I'm there with like my mate and stuff, and obviously the first 10 minutes of that movie, it's like
so you're hungover.
Horrible. Oh, and we're all crying. Everyone's yeah, hungover.
In 3D?
Crying, 3D. I was crying into my 3D glasses. And yeah, it was... Yeah, it was a moment. It's a moment. I do really like that film. Problem is I have trouble watching it now just because of the memories it gives me from that one moment.
Never. Oh, it's because you're so in love with me and you can't imagine what would happen.
What if you passed away?
Yeah. I'm never going to watch that movie again.
I mean, the thing is, you have the added benefit of having to deal with my body after we're gone, because there's no fucking way I'm getting past like 66. There's no fucking way. I've got 30 years to do all of the things that I want to do, and then I feel like the bucket itself needs to be kicked.
Okay.
I think I have to be done by, because if I've not done it by then, like if I've not like ticked off a few things off the bucket list, then it needs to be kicked.
Okay, all right.
And then
I'll start
that's the end of that.
The clock right now. No,
okay.
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, either way, let's talk about James Cameron. So,
yes.
So James Cameron is a Canadian filmmaker. We more know him now, probably less for the films, but he's more of an environmentalist now as well.
Oh.
So very, very much you'll have seen things like Aliens of the Deep and his documentaries delving deeper into the wars and things like that. Very much a product of his success or egomania from how Titanic was like the biggest thing on the fucking planet.
Correct.
Which still boggles my mind to this day, right?
What, that it was so popular?
Oh yeah. Thing is
that movie just like turned me into a real woman.
Whatever, Jesus. Whatever, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay. Fuck. Right, so yeah. We're gonna do an episode where we track your desires and passions over the years as like a youngster into what effectively turns you into, in inverting commas, a woman, right?
Right.
Aye. I think that'd be very interesting to track. It's something we've spoken about before. We could make a documentary on it.
I know who's next on the list. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that's for another day. Anyway. And I guess like the reason I say that like kind of boggles my mind is like this guy is like one of the most bankable filmmakers on the planet. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like the guy makes films that bank like hard.
Yeah.
Like super hard. And I guess like he has relatively quite humble beginnings. I guess he has this same sort of like backstory as a lot of other kind of filmmakers that end up making a relatively quite big budget like cinema spectacles basically. And it's like they saw George Lucas's Star Wars back in the day. They wanted to make movies. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right?
Definitely.
And obviously Star Wars is influential in so many other different kind of ways in terms of sci-fi and where sci-fi goes in cinema and things. So I think it's also a very good kind of, starting point for most people anyway. But carrying on.
Yeah.
So relatively humble beginnings. He's working as a truck driver and he decides to quit his job to go work in film. So for the most part, he's working as like a PA, he's like a production assistant. He ends up working as a miniature model maker, art director, production designer, and main designer. And that's mostly because he works on stuff for the Roger Corman company.
Oh.
Right? And this is into the 70s and then obviously leading into the 80s. So in terms of like stuff that he's worked on, Rock and Roll High School, Battle Beyond the Stars, which you will see a lot of like the kind of set design and things in that. And exactly the same with Galaxy of Terror. And I think Battle Beyond the Stars and Galaxy of Terror, I think they use the same sets.
Okay.
But you can kind of notice that with like the long hallways and obviously there's like egg cups and stuff going on. But the way that it's kind of put together and it's built and things, very influential, very interesting. And this is maybe about the same time as Alien or maybe just after. Because Alien, again, is another one that kind of breaks the mold. It's like probably one of the best designed films that's ever been made, ever.
Oh, yeah.
And he also was art director on John Carpenter's Escape from New York.
Oh,
as well.
Shit, yeah.
Yeah, so there's plenty of stuff there. So effectively, his directorial debut comes with Piranha 2, The Spawning.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And that's purely because the original director, I can't remember his name, I think it's Mike... Can't remember, it's Mike something or other, but maybe you can figure it
out. I'll get to it.
I didn't put it down. I didn't think we talk about it for very long, but he's the special effects director on Piranha 2, and because of the amount of conflicts between the original director and the production company, Mike's gone, and
oh wow, Joe Dante
did the original Piranha.
Yeah, is that 78?
That's 78. This is Piranha 2.
I know, but I wanted to get the first movie.
Oh, okay. So basically, there was conflicts between that and the production company. James Cameron ends up being forced into the role to finish directing Piranha 2, and he doesn't really like Piranha 2 that much. He doesn't really bother with it.
Lance Henriksen is in it.
Yes.
That's maybe why they became best friends.
Potentially. I think a lot of where Cameron gets a lot of its kind of startup is from the people he worked with on the Corman productions, basically.
That's cool.
So, like, I would say, personally, he's got very kind of similar to beginnings to, say, like, Ridley Scott, who is also set designer, set decorator, illustrator. So you see, as they start to move into doing feature filmmaking, they're taking a lot of those skills forward.
Right.
And to a point, it feels like they're they're pioneering to a certain extent. Like, you look at the model work in Alien, you look at the model work in, like, Aliens, or you look at the model work in, say, you know, this first Terminator movie that we're going to be looking at.
Yeah.
It looks very fresh, looks very original, looks very clean, and it doesn't jar in any way, shape, or form.
Right, yeah.
I would say there's probably some rough edges in the Terminator.
Yeah, yes.
But
I agree.
It's all starting to lead towards being more pioneering in this field at the time. So
It's still perfect.
Yeah, it doesn't detract from anything. So James Cameron writes The Terminator in '84, and we're gonna call it like this is his directorial debut, basically. So he writes The Terminator. The same year he co-wrote Rambo 2.
Oh.
Yeah, so he co-wrote Rambo 2 with Sylvester. And obviously, I mean, I have to point this out. Like, he goes from making The Terminator in '84 and immediately goes on and makes Aliens in '86.
Yeah.
So it's a massive markup in quality in terms of, like, where his trajectory is going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, like, that is the breakthrough time. And I mean, the guy goes on to make, because we're never going to talk about James Cameron again. So I was like, let's just get it all out, because as far as I'm aware, there's not a dick in True Lies.
Sadly, no.
So, no.
Tom Arnold.
Yeah, no. I mean, this guy goes on to make The Abyss, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, True Lies, Titanic, and obviously Avatar. So, powerhouse. Like, they're all huge movies. Like, they're massive movies.
I love The Abyss.
The Abyss is really good, yeah. The Abyss is really good.
They're
all 5-star movies in my opinion. As much as I don't really enjoy Titanic, I've seen Titanic like fucking 12 times or something.
Oh yeah.
For one reason or another, like it's just been on. Like everyone had that on video.
Oh yeah. I got it the day it came out.
Yeah, everyone had the
I
fucking
bought,
song.
Or my mom bought me. It was from Blockbuster. You could get a pre-order, like little coupon ticket thing from Blockbuster, and so when it came out, you had a reserved VHS copy, the two VHS tape set.
Wow.
And so I could go in the day. I woke my mom up. It was like 10 a.m. and I was like, "Bring me to fucking Blockbuster, Mom!" And so I could get my VHS of Titanic. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger had to finish wrapping Conan the Destroyer because he was like contractually obligated to do that film before.
Dino De Laurentiis would have had him under the thumb.
Oh yeah.
So
at least they remained friends.
I mean, yeah.
That's what it sounds like, at least.
I mean, it goes
ever...
back to that Godfather quote, which we all know. So
what?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Oh shit, yeah. But anyway, he had to wrap filming on Conan before he could film The Terminator, and so James Cameron's like, well, I'm not going to do it without him. So he spent that time. That's when he wrote Aliens. It was like during that 6-month span of time.
It's insane
that he had. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's a guy. I wouldn't say he's a guy who's able to kind of achieve the impossible, because there's only so many films that he's got on his docket anyway. But in terms of making a sequel to Alien,
the fact that he was able to do it is mind-blowing, because Aliens is like...
I mean, it's probably better than
phenomenal.
Alien.
I know.
Probably better than
how
Alien.
can you do that?
I mean, well,
I
did it.
I can't even imagine, like...
He did it, so...
He did. Good for him, because it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's
so
pretty
good.
cool.
There was some weird people. I was going to bring it up later, but since I was talking about him having to wait for Arnold before he films the movie.
Yeah.
But there were some interesting choices by the studio and interesting choices made. I guess James Cameron wanted Lance Henriksen originally as the Terminator. Until I think he was like introduced to Arnold at a party as Mr. Universe. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Obviously that makes sense. Yeah. But I guess at the original pitch meeting, Lance Henriksen was like dressed in leathers and kicks the door open.
Okay. And
was like playing the role of the Terminator.
Yeah.
Which I thought was super interesting.
Well, yeah, I guess like if we think about that, like kind of how understated, like I guess the Terminator would have felt in there, as opposed to being this gigantic, imposing figure. Because again, this is still very early days for Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah,
in film and stuff. Because like
Conan
the Barbarian is a hit, but it's not really showing much of like his acting chops. Because let's be fair, Schwarzenegger at this point isn't much of an actor, right? He's not really given. He's not really
Hercules in New York.
Yeah, like he's doing. he is performing, probably not to the best of his abilities. He does get better, right? But I think that's a very clever ploy by Cameron, is that he's a big imposing figure. You don't have to get him to say very much. Just his mere presence on screen.
Yeah, that'll do the trick.
Is enough to do it. So
he had 24 lines in
Wow.
Conan the Barbarian. Mm-hmm. And James Cameron wanted him to speak even less because it's more frightening.
yeah,
And he only had 14 lines in this entire film.
yeah.
So
His body does all the legwork in this movie.
even when he does that little hop over the curb that you love.
Yeah, when he comes, oh fuck, yeah. Because like I guess like that's the main thing, and I think like what they were trying to do is that they didn't want Arnold to blink, they didn't want Arnold to emote, but
Yeah.
there are certain things that they just could not obviously control, and that's like he's gonna blink when they fire a gun because it fucking makes a flash, and he's gonna blink when it
Yes.
happens. There's also other things where like he's gonna wince when he crashes through a fucking door because he's crashing through a fucking door.
Yeah.
And he's also gonna do strange little hops when he jumps onto curbs and stuff. There's that part where he parks up the station wagon and there's a guy on the phone, some fat dude with a beard wearing his fucking dungarees, and he does this tiny wee hop like up onto the curb, and I'm like, Terminator wouldn't do that.
But the thing is, he did.
He did do
and
it, and it's in
great.
the film. Yeah,
It's
in
great.
the film. But,
Oh my gosh. I love that little hop.
Yeah, I mean, like, we can talk about the film like endlessly. Like, it's one of our favorite films.
Yes.
Like, I really, really enjoy it. I mean, obviously, the score is fantastic.
Oh my god.
It's like one of the most iconic scores ever written. Brad Fiedel, and he came back
music
to
is so
do
good.
the music for Terminator 2.
Yeah.
And well, he does a bunch of Cameron stuff actually. Brad Fiedel.
Yeah, I don't think I wrote down the Cameron stuff he did, but I wrote down like Fright Night, Serpent in the Rainbow, Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah, Johnny Mnemonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that he was in Hall &
movie.
Oates for 6 months during the 70s? He played the keyboard for Hall & Oates.
Huh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. And then Adam Greenberg shoots this movie as well.
Hell
And
yeah, he did.
he also shoots Terminator 2
Yep.
later on, and a bunch of other stuff like Santa Claus 2, Ghost, like
North.
a whole bunch of shit. Yeah, tons of shit.
Junior,
Yeah,
3
yeah,
Men and
whole
a
bunch.
Baby, and a Little Lady.
Pretty much, he's like the Adam Greenberg look is that he's able to kind of sculpture faces like really, really well, like sculpt them in light, which I quite like. Like I put him towards like, you know, he's able to like make Arnold and stuff like look the very best that they can do, because he's got like fantastic like facial structure.
Yeah.
Thing keeps on falling over. Hold on.
You've got the bad pop shield.
Of course,
Again.
I've got the bad pop shield because everything's a fucking joke in this market, this racket that we're fucking trying to.
Are you ready for the synopsis?
Yes.
It is a lot. So
Okay.
it's a little bananas. I mean, obviously the premise of this film is absolute bananas.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try to read this without fucking it up.
Okay.
Okay, let me put on my movie voice. In the post-apocalyptic future, reigning tyrannical supercomputers teleport a cyborg assassin known as the Terminator back to 1984 to kill Sarah Connor, whose unborn son is destined to lead insurgents against 21st century mechanical hegemony.
Hegemony.
Hegemony? I have no idea how to
Yeah,
say that
hegemony.
word. Hegemony?
Yeah.
21st century mechanical hegemony. What does that word even mean?
Hegemony. That is a mouthful.
Oh, I know, and that's
Is that
one sentence.
Did Cameron write that?
I don't know.
Because like I don't know how you would react to that in a pitch meeting.
I know.
Hegemony. I thought that was. I thought,
Hegemony. Hegemony. I think I had it right.
All right.
Wait, want Google to say it for me?
I know, but like the way Americans...
Hegemony.
Right, okay.
All right, hegemony.
What does it mean?
Jesus Christ. Leadership or dominance, especially by one country or social group over others.
Okay.
21st century mechanical hegemony. God, I have a master's degree and I can't read. I'm not done with the synopsis. Meanwhile, the human resistance movement dispatches a lone warrior to safeguard Sarah. Can he stop the virtually indestructible killing machine?
Oh, Jesus. Right, okay.
Right, that was a mess.
Ooh, that's a mouthful.
Sorry. Tagline, your future is in his hands.
Whose hands?
I'm not sure.
The Terminator.
Maybe?
Huh.
It's weird that the synopsis is really kind of highlighting Kyle Reese as like the savior, the star of this whole thing. Mm-hmm. But it's not really. I don't know. I almost feel like everyone has like equal pull in this movie. Like the Terminator, Kyle Reese, and like Sarah Connor are all kind of like.
Yeah. Well, Sarah Connor's got to go through that journey where she's able to like save herself and stuff like that, so that she becomes the person that she's destined to be.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I quite like. And that's something you see in Cameron's stuff is just the prevalence of very strong female characters that are written relatively quite well and they're developed, you know. So, I mean, it's not, you know, it's nothing that he's not been able to do. But I mean, I guess like that's an interesting thing about the film in general. I mean, there's some reviews online and some of this shit. Like, I mean, there's folk casting shade on the Terminator, saying it's fucking boring.
I can't imagine anyone saying this movie is boring.
Because the thing is like if you say the Terminator is boring, then effectively you have a problem with just mainstream movies and what they are in general. Because effectively the Terminator is just is one long chase movie.
Yeah.
With a few like set pieces and stuff like that. That's effectively what all of the Terminator films are, is chase films.
This movie starts in the kind of post-apocalyptic world, right? Like that's how it opens.
Yeah,
where it's like kind of.
Yeah. So yeah, it opens on basically like nuclear fallout LA.
Yeah.
And then it has this cool thing where the hunter killer comes over the top, and then it pans across, and then we see the rolling tanks, like the other hunter killers, like rolling around and stuff like that. And I think we see someone's running around, and then someone gets killed.
Yeah, I was just gonna say how it says Los Angeles 2029.
Yeah, we're not far off.
2022.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And I'm like, oh, Ryan, we only have 7 years to get our shit together, but then the global nuclear war starts way before.
Yeah, it does.
Skynet.
Yeah. So.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's gonna be a shame for everybody. Like we're gonna fix this pandemic and hopefully get our shit under control, and then Skynet's gonna switch on and then obliterate all of us as a countermeasure.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
And Sarah Connor's only 19 in this movie. Did you know that?
No.
Like her character is 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
I just thought that was interesting. She's very young.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's fine. That's okay. I mean, I have a bigger problem with her scooter.
No.
Oh. What do you mean, no?
The Honda Elite CH125. I have that written down. I also have a photo in my phone, and I sometimes check on like Auto Trader to see if I can buy that scooter for myself.
Okay, because it looks like the robot from Rocky IV. Happy birthday, Polly. It looks like that fucking thing. Every time I see it, I'm like, it looks like the fucking...
Don't compare it to the Rocky movies.
Why not?
Because
It looks like the robot from Rocky IV. Happy birthday, Polly.
I love that scooter. I think it looks really cool. It looks really heavy, too.
It does. I mean, it's also one of the things, other than everybody's hair and the music and stuff, is that it dates it. It dates the film like quite heavily.
Yeah, I guess.
Like you know what decade this film's made in.
What's the date?
It's the date. It's like have you not seen my Nikes? Like it's like,
what year is it?
You ever just see a real bright light?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because every other like playing member, like the film does a very good job of making the Earth and like I don't know if it's like LA, maybe just LA in general, but like it's a completely undesirable place to be that requires a nuclear strike in order to like wipe it clean because everyone's an asshole. Like everyone's a
You
complete
think so?
fucking asshole in the movie.
Yeah.
All the bit part players, like the garbage truck driver, all the patrons in the restaurant, Sarah Connor's fucking absent boyfriend who's a fucking asshole, the guy on the payphone.
You know that voice message she gets, or her answering machine message, that's James Cameron's voice.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. There you go.
Breaking up with her. Well, not, or
Wow.
breaking off the date.
Well, he wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't with her at that point. Seriously, because he was married to Lyndall Hamilton for a couple of years.
1997 to 1999.
Kaboom.
Yep.
So yeah, this is also well before then, anyway. But
He waited until she like hulked out after T2.
yeah, those fucking shoulders.
She had
Jesus
1%
Christ.
body fat
Really?
during Terminator 2. She like trained with a ex-Israeli fighter.
Wow. Crap Maga.
I don't know.
Like
Like
that's what that is. Isn't it?
yeah, well, it was like 3 hours, only 3 hours a day,
Okay.
but for 6 months. And then she had like 1% body fat and
Wow.
was super ripped.
She does look ripped.
No,
like
she
looks like she could fucking snap your neck.
She probably could.
Yeah, she looks about as yeah.
It's like
she's-
my dream. Like I post a picture of her
Krav
from
Maga.
Terminator 2, and I'm like,
Right.
that's what I want it to look like. But I'm not
Huh.
dedicated in any sort of way to try that hard.
No, because it does require work.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
just saying that you're going to do it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen.
I'm gonna try to will it into being.
Yeah. Try your best.
She looks so cool in that movie.
Yeah, that's in Terminator 2 though.
She looks cool in this movie too because she's got the scooter. I like her feathered hair,
yeah,
tie-dyed shirt.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah, there's a lot of very memorable parts of the film. And I mean, I kind of like, I'm like, you can go into them and stuff and like kind of do that. I thought I'd do the Arnold accent a little bit more, because I do like that bit.
Well, we haven't even talked about him yet, really.
No, not really. I think because like the way they come into the movie is like obviously they're traveling through the time portal, and nothing inorganic can come. So that's why the Terminator is covered in flesh. Is because nothing inorganic can go through the time portal.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, they explain it for whatever reason in the movie.
Well, I thought that he had the fleshy skin because it was like rubber before, and it was so obvious that they were
Yes.
Terminators, and so they put the fleshy skin on them.
Yeah.
So they were indetectable.
Well, it's also
They didn't know how to do the time
it's also
portal.
a twofold thing. So nothing inorganic can come back is what it was.
Right.
That's why they couldn't send back guns and things. Because that's what happens when Kyle Reese gets arrested and he's talking to the psychotherapist and he's just like, why didn't you bring back a ray gun? And he's like, nothing inorganic will go, asshole. Why am I talking to you? And yeah. Because I thought about that. I was like, what if they just covered the ray gun in
human skin?
skin?
Gross.
Yeah, and it was just covering a ray gun.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that would work, right?
That's insane.
That's some like Ed Gein shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's maybe
Yeah.
going. Yeah, that's maybe going a bit too far.
Yeah. The full frontal penis scene comes in 5 minutes and 26 seconds into this film. Mm-hmm. Right at the tippy top of the movie.
Yes.
And it's when we see the Terminator Arnold Schwarzenegger come through that time portal and
Yeah.
do the coolest, pose move.
Yeah.
Stands up.
Yeah. The thing the film does very well is that both characters are introduced the exact same way. And you're...
One a lot cooler than the other.
Yeah, well, one's a lot more human than the other one.
Yeah.
Like, it's not difficult to figure that one out.
Yeah.
But the thing is that there's a suspension of disbelief in that you don't know which one's coming to save her and which one's not.
Right.
Until obviously, like, he knocks on the door of that one girl and he's like, Sarah Connor. And then she goes, yes. And he just shoots her in the face. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that's,
6 times.
yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like there's plenty of times where like they both come in completely naked to the world. It just so
Yes.
happens that Michael Baine's able to find trousers very fast. Arnold has
Well,
to
he
go out
steals them-
asking for them.
He steals them from a homeless man.
Yeah, Yeah, that's the...
He took my pants.
Took my pants, the asshole. Asshole son of a bitch took my pants.
Yeah, and then he ends up, like, hiding in a clothing store so he can find clothes that still look terrible. Because those cool Nikes. But,
Those fantastic fucking Nikes. Like, I've always wanted a pair of those Nikes.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if I could get away with them. The thing is like they're
with the
kind
Velcro?
of... Yeah, but then there's, like, the self-lacing shoes from, like, Back to the Future 2 as well. And it's like, look, they were fine, but I don't know if you could get away with them now. You know what I mean? Like, it's very kind of like...
I like the Velcro.
I haven't got a problem with the Velcro. I mean, I think those Nikes are actually all right. I like a good old high top.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I'd quite enjoy a high top Nike, but I just don't know if I could get away with it.
We'll see.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm just planting the seeds for Christmas presents further down the line.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, Arnold has to get clothes from a bunch of punks that are looking through a telescope.
This is so good. This bit's so good. This is also the dick scene, by the way.
Yeah,
no one's
5 minutes, 26 seconds
yeah,
in.
We're not going to explain every beat of the Terminator. You fucking assholes can go watch it yourselves.
They've seen it.
Of course they've not, or they've seen it and they said it was boring.
I don't know who those people are. That seems wild to me.
Well, no, because the internet is an open cesspool.
Fair enough.
You know?
Well, we get to see punk rock Paxton in the Terminator, which is so good, and he's got the blue hair.
Doesn't one of them have, like... Does it look like they've got, like, marks on their face?
I think that's Bill Paxton. It's like he's got tire tracks on his face.
Because the exact same character, I think it's Clown from the Akira... It's either the film adaptation of Akira, or it's in the book. But one of the main boys, Clown, right, he's the leader of the rival bike gang in the thing. He has the tire tread thing going right down the center of his face. Yes.
I haven't finished the movie yet, but I remember that part.
Because I think... Akira's 82?
You want me to look?
I think. Thing is, the book was around for a decade before the film was made. It might be 88.
88.
So, yeah. So,
well, that's cool.
I don't know if he took that little aspect of like Terminator is very much kind of grounded in cyberpunk, like big time.
Well, he would have had to have gotten it from the book.
Yeah. Well, James Cameron's obviously a purveyor of manga anyway, because he ended up producing and writing the Battle Angel Alita film.
Right.
So he's known about that shit for a long time.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean that film came out. Holy fuck! Thank God for James Cameron. That fucking film came out. Insane.
Yeah, it was.
As a 30-something-year-old seeing that on the big screen, I was like, "What the fuck? There's no way." But yeah, the Bill Paxton punk trio.
So funny.
It's really good.
He walks up needing clothes.
Yes.
What is it? He just says, like, give me your clothes.
Well, no, the one he takes the clothes from goes to... Because Bill Paxton's like, my turn, and he breaks the glass. And they're looking through a telescope. Yeah. Those, like, pure telescopes.
Yeah.
Look over the sea or whatever, right? And the guy turns around and he goes... What's wrong with this picture? And they all turn and see, and basically Arnold's completely in the nutty.
Yeah.
And just walks over. So obviously, completely wide, massive shot, because Arnold's huge.
Of course
right?
he is.
This is like peak Arnold at this point. And he just starts trudging up, so everything's all out, tackle out.
Yep.
He's just walking over, and he comes up to them and he goes, your clothes, give them to me. Wash day, nothing clean, right? Nothing clean, right?
Oh my god. Yep.
Yeah, they all pull knives on him.
Yeah.
Because this is where he learns like the fuck you asshole and stuff like that. That all kind of came in because these are all words, like he uses all of these later on. These are all words he picks up from the world he's now treasuring around in, trying to obviously kill every Sarah Connor that is in existence. So, you know.
Yeah. I like when he puts it in his Rolodex of phrases.
Yes.
Fuck you, asshole.
And he does. He says it later. But I mean, I don't know, how did he dispatch Bill Paxton in that scene?
Wasn't there a bottle or something? I think he rips someone's heart out. Like, he just pushes his hand through someone's chest.
Yeah.
And then he pushes somebody And I don't know if there was like a bottle involved. I can't remember.
There's the bottle. He hits the bottle and onto the telescope. That's before Arnold turns up.
Oh, right.
They pull the knives and they fight. So for whatever reason, he like, I don't know, breaks fucking Bill Paxton's neck. I genuinely can't remember.
I thought he just like punched through someone's chest.
Yeah, he lifts someone up off the ground by impaling him on his fucking gigantic arm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the other guy ends up just giving him his clothes.
Yeah, of course.
That's what happens.
That's what you're going to do.
Yeah, so.
What I love so much every time I remember that Bill Paxton is in this movie is that he is the only actor to have been killed by a predator, a Terminator, and a xenomorph.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow. There you go. What a legacy.
Terminator, Aliens, and Predator 2.
Mm-hmm.
Which is funny because I'm like, Lance Henriksen is also in this universe.
Yeah.
Each of those universes. Mm-hmm. But they don't count him as being killed by a xenomorph because he's an android.
Really?
Yeah.
I think that's bullshit.
I know.
Yeah, that's rubbish.
Because he gets killed by the T-800. He's killed by a predator in Alien versus Predator. And then in Alien, he's like torn apart by the Queen.
Yeah.
But they don't count that. But I'm like...
Technically, he doesn't die.
He doesn't die. That's true. I think he gets shut down in... what I don't know if it's Aliens.
No. Aliens is where he's in it and he gets ripped in half. In Alien 3...
He gets shut down.
Yes.
In Alien, though. Not Aliens. Alien.
No, Alien 3.
No. I'm saying he was originally in Alien.
He was originally in Aliens.
Mm.
Yeah. You're getting confused. Because Lance Henriksen is not in the Ridley Scott movie. That is Ian Holm, who plays the android in Alien.
Okay.
Right.
So Paxton and Henriksen...
You would not survive at a Comic-Con.
Aliens.
With your mix-ups. You got too much dick on the brain.
Yeah, I'm allowed.
Aye, well, I guess.
Okay, well, there you go.
So,
I mean, they're in an elite club, even though Lance Henriksen's not allowed to be in that club with Sweet Bill, who's no longer with us.
No, poor Bill. I like that bit where Arnold goes into the gun shop and he gets all those guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that bit's really good. If anybody who's ever listened to Arno Cores, they should probably listen to the Terminator because there's a fantastic rendition of the gun buying in that scene.
He's like getting it like a plasma shooter or something. He's like, only what's on the wall, pal.
12 gauge autoloader, 45 long slide with laser sighting, phase plasma rifle with a 40 watt range is what he asked for. Yeah, because I wrote them all down.
Oh,
so I knew I was going to do them. Uzi 9mm. Because these
like,
that's
you've
all
got good taste.
Well, this is all like, it's like, so which one of these any one of them is suitable for home defense? Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah,
insane.
Like, what the fuck? It's like the 12 gauge autoloader. It's just like, yeah, it can go full auto. It can just lay waste to whatever's in its fucking weight.
Yeah,
because like he just starts single handing that fucking thing at one point.
He trained to be able to shoot with his left and right hand.
Okay.
So that he looked like a robot.
It worked.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like that's one of the main things.
Ambidextrous.
Yeah. I guess like that's one of the main things is that, yeah, well, he's single-handing two-handed guns.
Yeah.
And I guess like that's kind of the main thing is like it's very much he does play it better, but I think they have more money in Terminator 2 in order to make it feel a little bit more like. Because not only that, he has more personality in Terminator 2 as well.
Yeah.
And he's more robotic. So I don't know, he's able to pull off like some sort of impossible feat in Terminator 2.
He's learning.
Well, he is. I mean, when he gets into the 90s, that's where it's like peak Arnold as far as I'm concerned. So I mean, it's fine. But
the way that they're able to take that villain and turn him into like one of the best good guys is
heroes.
Yeah. Another feat.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't believe you could do that.
I mean, it's all penned from the mind of James Cameron, who's now mostly obsessed with Pandora and water. And that's pretty much it.
There's the part where Sarah Connor finds out that all the Sarah Connors are being shot down. And she's like, sees in the phone book, there's only 3. She's the only one left.
Yeah, she's the last one.
And she's like, having a delightful solo dinner date with herself at this bar/restaurant,
Yep.
eating an entire pizza. She has a whole pizza. I think she's about to take her very first bite of this pizza, and she puts the pizza down to watch the news to find out, like, all these Sarah Connors are dead, right?
Yep.
And then she leaves the pizza, and I feel like if I found out, I don't know, it's hard to put myself in her shoes, but if I found out a bunch of Laura Hensels were getting, like, gunned down, I'd at least take the pizza to go. Because what if it's my last, you know?
Well, you're not listed on in the phone registry, are you?
I don't know who is anymore. They don't really deliver those around anymore.
We don't have a landline. We don't really do
don't.
that. We've never had a landline because it's so expensive for one.
We might be safe. So
Probably.
I can eat my pizza in peace.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of like where Terminator and stuff goes, I'm assuming they would use the internet to find their prey now. If for whatever reason you are the savior of the human race who gives birth to the one warrior who trains
Why can't I just be the savior? Why do I have to birth a son to be the savior?
Because that's just
Why does
the
a
way
man
it
have to
goes.
do it?
I don't know why John Connor has to do it, but obviously Sarah Connor doesn't live long enough in order for her to do that sort of thing. So,
well, time is flexible.
well, the thing is, you know what? They fixed it for you in Terminator Dark Fate. That crystalline piece of shit that came out. So no, you should be happy, aren't you? You're happy. You're happy now that the savior is a woman.
Yes.
Right, of course you are.
That was a great movie.
Yeah. That's a movie where they were handing out free posters at the screening to the cinema because we saw it in Scotland.
Yeah.
They were handing out free posters, and I took one. So I was like, oh, that looks cool. And then we saw it, and I put it back.
Yeah, you put
it
right
back, and I was tempted to put all of the pile into the bin because it was a waste of time.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
No, it wasn't very good at all. But didn't you tell me something about the movie was originally going to have 2 Terminators in it?
Yeah, I think in one of the first drafts of the film, James Cameron wanted 2 Terminators to come back, and one of them looked, like the T-800, and then one of them was like the T-1000, where he's a liquid boy.
Yeah.
The liquid boy and the robot boy come back, and both of them make it through. But they also had 2 of the warrior, savior, vigilante boys come back, but one of them dies on the way back in. So then you end up with only one Kyle Reese, and then you've got 2 Terminators. But then he realized that it was too difficult to make the liquid boy. Like, it would have been too expensive, and that he's like, I don't know if we can make it.
Yeah.
We don't have the technology to make it. So,
well, that's something he's been very good at doing, is that he develops things and then he waits for the technology to catch up.
Right. He said that it worked decently well in the Abyss, and he's like, I think we can do that in T2. So that's why you have that T-1000 in the Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Judgment Day. After, because it was like, he's like, I can do this now.
Yeah. So. Yeah, it looks like the, was it fucking Jor-El from Virtua Fighter? That's pretty much what it is.
Right over my head.
Right over your head.
I've seen you play that game.
Yeah. We don't know who Jor-El is. It Jor-El? All the nerds out there all get it. It's the final boss in Virtua Fighter. It's just the T-1000, except it's a woman or it's a man. I can't remember if it's a woman or a man. I think it might be a woman.
Liquid gender.
That has everybody else's moves, and you've got to fight it, and it's like the ultimate fighting machine, whatever. And well, the thing is, like, you brought it up, and I was like, because there's been so many misfires with the franchise, right?
Right.
Because you got Terminator. Then you've got Terminator 2. They're effectively the same sort of thing, just everything's kind of flipped on its head, and then they seal it up like nice and tight so that nobody can fuck with it, basically. But unfortunately, obviously, because it makes so much money, people end up making. Then Terminator 3 is kind of the same thing as Terminator 2. Then you've got Salvation. It's kind of more focused on like the nuclear landscape, all that sort of shit, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got the other 2 things where we're like, okay. It just ends up looking like a video game. So why hasn't anybody just been like, no, let's have more than one Terminator?
Yeah.
Just do that story. Do that story, modern day, try and change it a little bit so that it kind of makes sense that there was something that didn't go right with Terminator 2 so that they can kind of fix it or go a little bit further back like they did in Genesis, right?
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff.
I feel like there are so many things that could have happened that didn't happen, and it just kept tripping over itself, and I do not want to see another Terminator movie, because as we've been sitting here, I'm remembering what happened in Dark Fate, and so many things that I hated.
Yeah.
So many that I don't even want to bring up.
No.
But I don't want it anymore. Like, there's so many great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could make... Oh, wait, they already did that. I was like, they can make a TV show, but they already had a Sarah Connor show.
Yeah, the Sarah Connor Chronicles, yeah.
Ugh, whatever.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
But this movie is obviously perfect, in my opinion. And you've got full frontal. And it's great. And it's funny. And it's scary. And it's got cool robot CG effects. Got practical effects. Got weird Arnold face.
What's CG effects?
Well, maybe not. When he melts all of his skin, is that not computers?
No, that's stop motion.
That's stop motion.
Yeah, that's stop motion.
Yeah.
See, that's back in the day. That's when. Well, remember they were gonna do stop motion for all the dinos in Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. But they always felt like it felt a bit too robotic.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun. And that's when they developed a lot more of the CG stuff. That's why CG is used quite sparingly in that movie, because it only goes so far. Or at least then it did. Now, obviously, it's far too prevalent, and I feel like it feels a lot of its soul. Loses a lot of its soul.
Oh yeah.
So for the most part, that is the main reason why people look at the Terminator and they go, it's dated, because it's at the cusp of using new to old technology, because again, The Abyss came out in late 80s, right? The Abyss,
sure,
early 90s basically. So that stuff's only just catching up at that point. So yeah, but the thing is, the stop motion stuff, all that sort of thing, and the Terminator doesn't really look that bad as far as I'm concerned.
I don't think it looks bad, and I guess I get used to saying it's CG, but yeah, obviously it makes sense.
It's because stop motion is a dead art at this point, you know?
I think it still looks really cool, and I don't mind.
The only way to use it now is in the artistic, like, creative sense. You're not going to use it in a live action movie. You're going to do something like Mad God, that anthology series from... continue talking, I'll try and find it. But...
Oh yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But, I love practical effects, so using that in this movie, despite how funny his face looks when he, is cutting open his face. Well, it's still really cool.
Put it this way, one of the best bits in Ghostbusters Afterlife was when we saw the dog as a model, like an animatronic model. One of the best bits in Afterlife was that bit there.
That was cool. I think you looked over at me and were like, that's real. Yeah.
And the director of Mad God, for anybody who does not know, because it's not been released yet, is Phil Tippett. He's basically the stop motion aficionado. He worked on the Ed 209 in RoboCop.
Hell yeah!
Like that. So there's a lot of other kind of things like that. So, yeah. I kind of feel like we've covered everything.
Yeah, there's not really anything I have written down that's, terribly interesting. There's one thing where I feel like everyone might know this.
I mean, there's that fantastic shot when they're in Tech Noir. And then she drops the bottle on the floor. Yeah. And she dips over, and there's that slow-mo shot. That whole sequence up until that point where things almost are just about to fucking kick off. Probably one of my favorite sequences in any film ever.
I love Tech Noir. I was $4.50 to get into that club? Yeah. $4.25?
That seems pretty cheap.
Still thought it was too expensive. I don't like paying to get into a club anyway. Or to a bar with a cover charge. Sometimes you have to. No, you don't. I just go home.
That's true. So you didn't live the club lifestyle?
No. I always waited until it was too late for them to charge a cover charge, or I just wouldn't go.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, "Oh, it's midnight. You don't have to pay anymore." I'm like, "Cool." And I'd go in. But no, I don't like that. Okay. But Tech Noir was awesome. The music is so good. The dancing music, the synth music.
The dancing.
I love that. I love Tech Noir. The one thing I was going to mention when it comes to people maybe having been interested in playing roles in this movie is they also considered O.J. Simpson to play Terminator.
Fucking hell.
Which, I don't know. I felt like that was mildly common knowledge, but it's interesting because they didn't choose him because he seemed too nice, in quotes. Like, not believable as being a murderer.
Yeah, just stick a pair of gloves on him and he's ready to go.
Glenn Close was the first choice for Sarah Connor. Yeah.
Is this off the back of Fatal Attraction, or like, is this before Fatal Attraction?
Yeah, before.
It's before Fatal Attraction.
Yeah.
I feel like all the right choices were made for this film.
100%.
Yeah.
Linda Hamilton forever.
Yeah. Because there's that bit where they have sex, where Michael Biehn and Linda Hamilton have sex and stuff like that.
Definitely.
You know, there's always that bit with the hands when they like slightly release.
Oh yeah.
Because they're coming.
The orgasm shot.
Yeah. Because Kyle Reese comes. You know that.
Yeah.
Like,
he has to.
He fucking comes.
And he's a virgin.
He's also a virgin. This is the first time he comes.
Yeah.
Technically.
Well, you don't know that.
Nah, he's too scared to masturbate in the future.
Well, he had that picture of Sarah Connor that his best friend Commander gave him, who's also his son.
Oh, yeah.
And then he gives him the picture of
he's
his...
he's not masturbating to that.
He's definitely masturbating to that little picture of Sarah Connor.
No,
100%.
I'm not having
with
that.
With his grimy nuclear hands.
Nah, we're going down a route. I don't know if I'm happy with this.
He said that he had that picture for so long and it was so messed up, and he said he was in love with her.
So pretty much John Connor,
he jumped far
who knows
into creepy territory.
So John Connor, who knows who Kyle Reese is, and he's his father, knowingly sends him back to the past after obviously having given him that picture, knowing that he's gonna fuck his mother in order to give birth to him.
Correct.
He's not masturbating to that photo.
Yes,
or at least if he is, he's like John Connor's
like the only
crying
picture
himself
he has
to sleep
of a
every
woman.
night.
It's the only, because he was born into this world.
Fuck, this was something I didn't know. Oh God.
Yeah, because Kyle Reese doesn't know that John Connor is his son. He has no idea that that's his son. He just knows it's like his, commanding officer.
Oh God.
But only John Connor knows. He sends him.
Oh Jesus.
Because he knows he's gonna have sex with his mom.
Here's the thing: we thought this podcast episode was going on far too long, but like I didn't expect my fucking mind to be blown this hard.
Yeah, he definitely jerked off to that picture of Sarah Connor.
Oh my fucking Christ! Oh my God!
When he straight up tells her,
and it's the fact that
he's
it came
like
from his friend Commander, but then son.
Son.
Because that's the thing. Like Kyle Reese isn't even born by the time that John Connor is born.
No, John Connor's old. Like he's an old commander by that time.
No, because
no, he's not.
No, because like John Connor's
probably like 40.
No, because John Connor it migrates into the new future. So the bombs drop. John Connor's alive, right? Of course. He migrates into the future. Remember, Kyle Reese is born in the post. Yeah, so like he's not even alive. So like technically he gives birth as like retroact is like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, like I'm not. Nah. Like I don't know.
Yeah, John Connor's been alive for like, I don't know, 20, 30 years before his father's born. Yeah,
so why is this not a topic of debate? Like everyone has problems with Licorice Pizza that came out this week, where it's like the woman the
statutory rape.
Well, no, she's being seen to be like courting a young boy, underage boy,
right?
To
Well, no, I don't think that it's like, weird in that way.
People have a problem with that, but they don't have a problem with the...
His son is like grooming him to be his own father.
Holy shit.
He's setting him up to be his dad.
Oh, fuck.
He's like, I want you to be my dad.
Oh my God. Well, no, it's not like he wants him to be his dad. He's like, I need you to be my dad. Right. Because you are my dad.
Such is foretold.
Oh my God. Oh,
by the prophet Sarah Connor.
Oh, fuck.
That's my dad.
Yeah. Look, in short, Kyle Reese comes hard in this movie.
He does.
Yeah, because he spent too much time making explosives as a child. He had no time to masturbate. Oh God, no, we're going back in circles. He definitely did. Oh no. Oh God. Oh God.
He definitely did. Anything else you want to add?
I'm trying to think. It really fucking buzzed my fucking. Uh, it's Friday night, for Christ's sake. Like, I love some of the lines in this movie. Like, some of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like that.
Well, on the answering machine, the roommate's like, machines need love too. Leave us a message.
Yeah.
And then she gets shot by a machine.
That's true. They also have a lizard that fucking hate them.
They have an iguana.
Yeah.
Which hates them. And also, people should not keep iguanas as pets.
No.
And also, that terrarium was very small. Iguanas can get massive.
Yeah.
They can get, like, really, really long.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway. She
Wrap this up.
pours, like, that whole cup of milk and makes that big old sandwich.
Look, sometimes people like a big glass of milk.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do. I used to have, like, if you had some cookies and stuff, I used to have a little bit semi-skimmed. It was nice.
Gross.
Well, I don't drink milk here. I don't drink milk in front of you. We've got almond milk that we have now.
Yeah.
As you slowly convert me into
Hey, I asked.
vegetarianism.
That's right. That's right. We all know the answer to this. It's very, very obvious. Would you recommend this movie?
No.
You jokester.
Yeah.
You little trickster.
Yeah. No, I've always liked the. I don't know. It's like, if you think this film's boring, like, who are you?
I know.
What is your name? Send it in. Like, I don't understand. Your hot take is not hot.
No.
Your hot take of being like, the Terminator is boring. It's like, get fucked.
I agree.
It's fucking stupid.
It's a great.
The thing is, like, the
great
thing is
film.
that I'll say, and this is me being very serious about this movie, is that the film itself is a culmination of, like, a bunch of different kind of genre ideas and all these kind of radical, wild concepts. Because, like, I'm not going to say what the Terminator does and, like, its mythos and all that sort of thing is entirely original, because you've had like Jules Verne. You've had whoever wrote War of the Worlds, right? You've had all of these quite wild, grounded kind of sci-fi ideas that kind of quite high concept. So, like, it's basically taking little bits of all these things and putting them all together, and it's like, what happens if the machines fight back? I find that super fucking interesting.
For sure.
So this is very much your film noir, action, romance, sci-fi fantasy thing, all kind of put into a blender, and it's got ideas of, like, cyberpunk, and certainly it's a lot of the kind of the inception of like the American take on, like, the cyberpunk genre and things like that I quite like.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy. You know, I kind of feel like it goes a lot further. I mean, you've got, like, Hardware and stuff like that, those movies, which I think are, really, really cool. But yeah, no. I think this film's like...
Runaway, that movie with Tom Selleck.
I don't know if that's a cyberpunk movie.
It's got the robots that look like
I mean, Lawnmower Man is closer to that.
That, like, come and get them.
Yeah.
They fight back.
We could talk about cyberpunk for days. But either way...
Yeah,
I'm
with you.
The Terminator is just I mean,
it's a game changer. I think it's a game changer.
It's one of the biggest franchises that's ever been created. It's a shame that they've shit the bed with it, but
we can still hold on to the love we have of the first two.
Yeah, that's something we all need to realize as well, is that we still have the first two movies. It doesn't discount those two because the rest of them are shit.
Yeah.
So
I
don't
agree.
know. Untie your panties, you fucking apologists out there. You don't have to feel like it needs to be modern and new in order for it to be better.
No.
So
I also recommend this movie. It's obvious. I love this movie. I love Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have a tattoo of him on my arm.
yeah.
I love him.
Yeah. Is this the only showing of Arnold's
Yes.
wang? Yeah.
From what I understand and what I have researched, if you guys know of another movie that has Arnold Schwarzenegger's
I'm pretty sure he's
full frontal,
the
let
only
me
other
know.
one-
But
well, the
I
only-
think I would have seen him.
No, the only other one it would have had any sort of likening to would have been Hercules in New York. That would have
No,
been it,
maybe
probably.
Conan, but not Hercules in New York.
No.
But no, it's not.
No, it's not. Like, that's what I mean. Like,
I'm just
there's
saying it's not.
anything after the Terminator, he's like one of the biggest stars on the fucking planet after
Yeah.
this movie. So
Yeah.
no, you were not going to see his wang after that.
So give me your final ratings, Rye Dog.
For what, the film?
The film.
Oh, 5 stars.
Same.
Out of 5.
5 stars.
I would say 7 out of 5, but that's not really.
And what about for this scene? Your visibility and context.
I mean, I guess like 3.5, maybe 4. In terms of context and stuff like that. I mean, the guy has just been propelled. I say the guy, but the robot has just been propelled from the future.
Cyborg.
Into the present. Yeah, he's a cyborg. He has been propelled into the present day from the future with nothing on his back. But the thing is, that's the thing you don't realize is that skin's just skin. They've made him as real. Weapon. He is the weapon. He is the, what's underneath. And we find out later on, it looks awesome as fuck. But, they make him as real as possible. And I guess, they could have made it so that he looked like a eunuch, but he doesn't, so.
Yeah, I would have...
Yeah, like Alan Rickman from Dogma. He pulls his pants down, yeah. Like an action man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I did, I obviously thought about it, like, why did they give him a penis, but
why wouldn't they give him a penis?
It just seems like more work.
Well, the thing is, like, if he would probably, well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he would just stick out like a sore thumb if he probably didn't have a dick. If they were trying to make him look more real than real, if they were trying to infiltrate.
Yeah, that's true.
Like all these pockets of humanity and stuff that were left.
Maybe that was the T-700. Didn't have a dick.
Yes. Well, some of the later films explore the other models of the Terminator.
Right, yeah. Oh boy.
It's like, yeah, you're better off just with the 4 that you have in these 2 movies. You don't really need to go any further than that.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna give that visibility and context a 3.5 because it's very dark.
Mm-hmm. But it's only really seen because he's passing street lights and stuff like that, and he's mostly backlit.
But as a full frontal scene in the context, it makes more than perfect sense because he came out naked. Like, what are you gonna do? And also, it's very probably jarring for those punk kids to see this gigantic naked man walking towards them. That's pretty scary. I would not like that at all.
No, I don't think those punk kids actually gave a fuck, though, to be fair.
I don't know.
Well, the thing
they
is,
can act tough and have knives and shit, but when you got like an Arnold Schwarzenegger size dude walking towards you butt ass naked, I mean, you probably act tough, but you're like, oh my god.
Well, certainly, if I saw a man plunge his whole arm into my friend's chest, I would probably give him my clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he asked me nicely, I would give him my clothes.
Well, that's nice. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much, as always, for discussing this film with me today.
Yes.
This was delightful and magnificent, and I love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad we got to watch it again. Not like we don't probably watch it every year, but...
Yeah, at least every so often we stick it on, because it's quite an easy watch.
Yeah.
So...
Well, coming to you from Tech Noir, I have been Laura.
Nice. I'm doing my 80s like shuffle dance.
Yeah.
Where I'm like staring at the ground. I've got my mullet. Hey, look.
You could rock a mullet.
Business in the front, party in the back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. We're in Florida. I can get away with it as well.
You sure could.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys. We will see you next time.
Goodbye. Well, I was trying to think of something like, I was like, could I do an Arnold thing? Like, could I do an Arnold quote? Fuck you, asshole.
Boom.
That'll do. Yeah, it was awful. Let's just record a little bit to see if it's working, and it might be working.